Swear I don't really care what it means. Looking at the future, staring at me, right there through the nightmares and the dreams. Oh, wake up, go face what you're afraid of. Oh, tell me that you can't go another day. Tell me that you're already on the way. Get paid, you'll be rich at this rate. Tell me that you can't go another day. Being all alone, so I'm on my way.
What up, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Chris, back. Another Nerds at 9 here. Hoping you guys are liking the vibes with the music. Again, as always, shout out to Recreation for that. I did it again, but right there, you guys know what it is. This is, I actually really like this song. It's a little bit of a different vibe, kind of like a summer island vibe. It's been a little nicer out. So that's how we're rocking today, So yeah, shout out to Recreation for letting me use his music, just to add vibes here. Also, if you're joining me, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Go ahead and like this video. Let's work that algorithm on YouTube. Help your boy out a little bit. But other than that, you guys know what we're talking about today. The big news of the day, I thought Amari Cooper was released. Well, he wasn't released officially yet, but he will be released. That's the news coming out of Dallas. They can save a lot of money by doing that. So I'm going to talk about that, all the implications of that move just for the Cowboys, for Amari Cooper, and potentially any team that picks him up. But before I do that, there's other things out there. I did want to talk a little bit about the NBA, just some of the stuff that I mentioned yesterday. I was talking about the Clippers-Lakers game, right when I was getting off. I said I was going to watch that. I definitely tuned in. They gotta take the Lakers off of national TV. That's my take. They lost 132 to 111. Just another embarrassing performance from LeBron and company. LeBron's numbers obviously look pretty good like usual, but just the effort from everyone, including him, on defense especially, it's embarrassing, man. And I'm tired of watching them, honestly, until they decide that they at least want to compete. I don't want to watch them anymore. So take them off of national TV. If anybody, with any power can hear me, take them off. They're terrible. Nobody wants to see the Lakers anymore. Number two thing in the NBA I was talking about was KD's return. He ended with 31 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. The Nets ended up losing the game 113 to 107 versus the Heat. But I will say I'm encouraged by that performance. Obviously, no Kyrie because that was a home game. No Ben Simmons still. So I agree with Charles Barkley. You said on the post-game show, it's pretty much just Kevin Durant 1-on-5 versus the Miami Heat. They have a lot of really good guys. Even though Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry didn't play, they still had Tyler Hero coming off the bench, maybe the 6th man of the year. Obviously, Bam Adebayo, he was good. They had a couple other guys chip in. They're a good team. So, KD's first game back, I think once the 3 of those guys get on the court and if they can get 5 games in before the playoffs, I think that would be huge. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Nets KD situation. Let me know what you guys think. I still think the Nets are going to win it all in the end. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to change the song here. Kind of a slow one. It was kind of more of a love song there. Not really the vibe I'm looking for right now. You can give me some loving, though, by hitting that like button, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But other than that, we got to get into the NFL. I think this is going to be a mainly NFL episode here. Starting with Amari Cooper, like I said, Cowboys going to release him. It would have been a $22 million cap hit to save him. To keep him on the team. Only $6 million against the cap if they cut him. So right now they're projected to be $21 million over the cap. So this will save about $16 million. So obviously that's the reason they're making this move. I don't think anybody is saying that Amari Cooper is just completely done. He's washed up. He went for 68 catches, 865 yards, 8 touchdowns last year, and he missed 2 games. So I think he might have been able to get 1,000, maybe a 10 touchdown season if he played the full season. But I thought he was pretty solid. He kind of tailed off. I had him in my main fantasy league, and he was pretty good at the beginning of the year. Kind of tailed off after the injuries, COVID. So I still think, he's got a lot left in the tank. He's only going to be 28 in June, so he's still got time. The 2020 season, he 92 catches, 1,114 yards, 5 touchdowns, so very solid season there. I think, obviously, I don't think he's going to sign another 5-year, $100 million contract like he did a few years ago, but I think he'll get a pretty solid chunk of change. Honestly, the best receivers in this free agent class really aren't, game-changing receivers. Obviously, Devontae Adams is a free agent as of now, but, I expect him to be franchise tagged. So, really, the best guy that I've been seeing a lot of people say is Mike Williams. There's a few other guys, but Chris Godwin coming off the injury. So I think Amari Cooper is right up there at the top of the free agent market as far as wide receivers go. So I think he'll definitely sign pretty quickly once, the league year starts again. Because anybody can use a receiver. You can always use playmakers in today's offense. So be on the lookout for Amari Cooper. As far as the Cowboys, according to Charles Robinson, who I'm not going to lie to you, I really don't know who that is, but he's reporting that the Cowboys are prioritizing a long-term deal for Michael Gallup. So if that's the case, they're obviously going into the season with CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. Cedric Wilson is also a free agent. So, Michael Gallup is too, so they'd have to re-sign him. But yeah, CeeDee Lamb is going to have to step up and be that number 1 receiver for Dallas. Obviously, as a Commanders fan, I don't want that to happen. So we'll see how that plays out. I think Amari Cooper still got it. You guys can let me know what you think. If your team needs a receiver, actually, perfect segue here. My man Andres, number 1 fan of the show, says Cooper to the Ravens. Obviously, I knew that was coming. Andre's big Ravens fan. I knew it. Like I said, all teams could use receivers. Ravens definitely one of the teams that definitely could use upgrades at the receiver position. So I think that would be a good signing, especially the way it complements a speed guy like Hollywood Brown, have more of a possession type receiver, and Amari Cooper who can get those tough 7-8 yard catches that you need to just keep moving the chains. So I actually really like that. I hadn't really given much thought as to where you go, but that's a really solid destination for sure. But yeah, moving on, some other news. Baker Mayfield was told by the Browns he won't be extended this offseason, so no contract extension, but they did say he will be the starting quarterback for the Browns in 2022. So a little bit of, commitment there, at least some stability. They know what they're doing going into free agency, the draft, all that stuff. So we'll see. Baker Mayfield, I think this is definitely his last shot in Cleveland if it doesn't really go well. Who knows? I think I don't know. Depending on how bad it is or how good it is. Right now, I think he would get another shot as starting, but he'll at least get another opportunity as a backup somewhere. He's shown flashes of really good play. So Baker Mayfield, I know some people had speculated about the Cleveland Browns trading him or trying to acquire another quarterback. So that's pretty much off the table now. yeah, moving on. I wanted to talk about the combine too a little bit before we get into the weekend. Obviously, I don't do these on the weekend, so when I come back on Monday, it's a lot has happened, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna remember, all these performances from the combine. So I'm just gonna run through some interesting stuff. Only the offensive players have worked out so far, so I'm mainly be talking about them. But the first thing everybody's talking about 8 receivers ran sub-4.4 40s at the combine. Obviously, the 40-yard dash. That's the event everybody loves. Everybody loves speed. Everybody wants to know, who's the fastest guy. Well, in this draft class, it's going to be Tyquan Thornton from Baylor. I think unofficially at first it said 4.21, which was just insane to see. But the official time 4.28, which is still blazing fast. He's actually only the number 36th ranked receiver by ESPN, their draft rankings. So we'll see. I mean, that's obviously like draft worthy, but he seems like a later pick. We'll see what he does. I'm just gonna read off some of the names because honestly, I'm not really familiar with all of these guys. But Bayless Jones from Tennessee, 4.31. He's number 15 ranked. Calvin Austin III from Memphis. I want to talk about him a little bit. He ran a 4.32. This guy's kind of a smaller receiver, but I really like this guy. He's only ranked 11 right now. Honestly, with that 40 time, he probably jump up the rankings a little bit, move into the top 10 receivers. Probably day 2 pick. This guy had a great day. 4.32 in the 40, like I said. He was top 5 in vertical, 40.5 inches. I think he was second overall. Second in the broad jump with 11 feet 3 inches. And then he was first in the 20-yard shuttle, which, if you don't know, like the 20-yard shuttle is pretty much just like a test of quickness. So, he was third in just straight line 40 speed, first in the quickness drill, high vertical, high broad jump. That shows, explosion. I watched some of his highlights. Like I said, he's a smaller guy, but I think he'll be able to create separation and get open. And he made some tough, contested catches as well. So Calvin Austin's a guy that has really jumped onto my radar. I'm going to be looking for him. If anybody knows anything about him, Memphis guy, I think he's going to be good. Didn't really have too much of a take on the rest of these guys. Danny Gray from SMU, 4.33. He's ranked 22 for receivers. Bo Melton from Rutgers ran a 4.34, ranked 29 for receivers. Christian Watson from North Dakota State, 4.36. He's ranked number 7 for wide receivers. He was also number 1 in the broad jump, so that's a name I'm going to keep an eye on as well. Seems pretty athletic. I think he's a bigger guy. I'm not 100% sure, though, but him for sure. And then the 2 Ohio State receivers, they're ranked 2 and 3 right now. Garrett Wilson ranked 2 and Chris Olave ranked 3 for receivers. They ran Wilson a 4.38 and Olave a 4.39. So kind of every time, a wide receiver from Ohio State comes out now, me as a Commander fan, especially when they run, 4.3 40, I immediately think of, a guy that's on this poster right here, Terry McLaurin. I think both of these guys, obviously they're ranked high for a reason. The only guy ranked ahead of them, at least by ESPN, is Drake London from USC. And that's really just because he's bigger. I don't think he ran at the combine, but he's an athletic guy too. He's about 6'5", so I understand why he could be number 1. But Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave from Ohio State, great receivers. Andres, if you're still watching, definitely potential targets for the Ravens. Those guys can play, man. Not sure what you guys are looking for outside of receiver, but if you guys are to get one of those guys, I think you'll end up being really happy. Other than that, just some combine stories. Only one running back ran below 4.4. That was Pierre Strong from South Dakota State. I'm not really familiar with him. He's ranked number 11 for running backs right now from ESPN, so definitely a guy to keep an eye on, I guess. Speed kills. He's definitely going to get a chance now for sure. but we'll see. I did want to talk about the quarterbacks a little bit. Desmond Ridder surprised me a little bit. He ran a 4.52, which was clearly the fastest for the quarterbacks. ESPN has him ranked as the 5th best quarterback. I think there's 5 quarterbacks that could be solid. I think obviously none of them really stand out as like the surefire number 1 pick, like a Trevor Lawrence last year or a Joe Burrow the year before. So yeah, they all are risky, they're scary, but I think you got to draft, traits that you like. And I think Desmond Ridder can be pretty solid. I didn't really watch much, who was really watching a lot of Cincinnati football this year? But I did watch when they played Alabama. And I will say, even though they lost, I think it was 24-6, and the offense didn't do that great, I didn't think he looked overmatched. And that's kind of what I was looking for out of him. He showed his mobility some. He had a couple throws that I thought, I immediately said, those are NFL throws. So, with the 4.52, I think that's definitely fast enough to, be a mobile guy in the NFL. He can make plays. So, I don't really know who to go within this quarterback ranking, because I'm going to read, the top 5. Malik Willis right now, number 1. Kenny Pickett, 2. Matt Corral from Ole Miss is 3. Sam Howell from North Carolina is 4. And then, like I said, Desmond Ridder, 5. Like I said, I like all of these guys. I think Malik Willis, he also didn't run. He did throw, which is kind of weird. He had some good-looking throws. He also had a video come out, nothing to do with football, but just he was actually in Indianapolis. Some random person, just got a video of him helping out a homeless man, which, it made me feel good about him, as a person. Obviously, that doesn't, help you be a good quarterback, but just a good story there. Malik Willis, I think, number 1 quarterback. Some of the throws he was making at the combine, I think he will be the number 1 quarterback drafted, which is kind of crazy coming from Liberty. That's a real small school, and I don't know. He scares me. So yeah, let's see what happens. Kenny Pickett also ran a 4.73, so he showed he's pretty mobile. He had the same 20-yard shuttle as Desmond Ridder, which I talked about earlier. Is just a test of quickness. So Kenny Pickett showed some quickness. His hands were really small when they measured, but that never once crossed my mind. I'm thinking about if a quarterback would be good or not. So we'll see. You guys can let me know which quarterback you guys think is going to be the best. For some reason, I really think that this Desmond Ridder guy has something to him. I'm just going to hitch my flag to that wagon. I think Desmond Ridder is going to be special. Man, maybe I'm getting too far. I'm not going to say special. If I had to pick, I'm going with Desmond Ridder out of this class to be the best out of those 5, coming from the 5th spot. So we'll see. You can tell me why I'm wrong. I'm sure not that many people agree with me, but it is what it is. Last couple of things before I get out of here. Maryland. Yeah, shout out Maryland. Tight end Chig Okonkwo, 4.52. It was the only tight end under 4.6. He was also second in the vertical at 35.5 inches. So we'll see what happens with him. He's only the number 17 ranked tight end, so I don't even know if that's a draftable tight end. But he showed some great athleticism, so definitely going to get an opportunity now. Shout out to Maryland. And then outside of that, I just wanted to say, we're going into the weekend. Defensive players are going to work out these next couple days. So Aiden Hutchinson, Kyle Hamilton, they literally have the same grade. They're tied, along with Alabama offensive tackle Evan Neal. So Evan Neal didn't work out. So no excitement there to watch him, but I am excited to watch Aiden Hutchinson and Kyle Hamilton. These guys look like they could be game-changing defensive type players. So that's what I'm looking forward to this weekend. Obviously, there's conference tournaments. My school, Towson, is the number 1 seed in the Colonial Athletic Conference tournament. So we shall see. I think we can pull that out. I'm not sure who we play yet. We got to see who wins on Saturday. But starting Sunday, root for us. Towson, big. We're in there. What else was I going to say for the weekend? Oh, one more comment from my guy, Andres. He asked me, was Drake London at the Combine? As far as I can tell, he wasn't. I looked through all the list of, how people performed and everything like that, and I'm looking through again. He's not showing up here on any of the, his numbers aren't showing up, with all the other wide receivers. So I'd assume either he's not there or he just didn't work out. Obviously knowing that he's a top pick, he could have just chosen that, I can't really do much for my draft status other than, run slow and hurt it or something like that, or, it is what it is. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not really sure about Drake London, though. I mean, if you know much more than me, I would love to hear it. But, again, USC was one of the more irrelevant teams this year, so didn't really get to watch much of them. Obviously, Cliff Kingsbury's there now, along with Caleb Williams. So we'll be watching USC this season for sure. But last thing before I go, MLB, just going to keep updating the situation as, news comes out. Obviously, they're going to be talking back and forth, but multiple teams now have asked the league about canceling the Rule 5 draft. If you don't know, the Rule 5 draft is where MLB teams can draft players from other teams that aren't on their 40-man roster. So yeah, I mean, that's all it is. The only caveat to that, they have to keep that, the team that drafts the player would have to keep that, keep said player on their roster, the 26-man major league roster for the entire season. So it's kind of a big deal. Obviously you can get a player that another franchise is just not valuing at all, but you have to use him, you know what I'm saying? So he has to play. So you have to kind of know that this guy is at least solid. So, it's interesting. Not every team even drafts a player. A lot of teams don't, but some players have gone to different teams and made a big impact. So canceling that, just another bad step for them will be. I think it would be just tragic. Just this whole lockout thing's tragic. Hopefully it can come to an end soon, but honestly, I really don't see that in the cards right now. But yeah, other than that, I should get out of here. It is Friday night, so that means I won't be back until Monday, I'm sure. A lot of stuff will happen over the weekend. If you see something and you want to hear about it on here, hit me up on Instagram. Comment on one of these videos. Let me know. I'm always checking. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. I'll be back on Monday. Hit that subscribe button if you made it this far. You might as well, right? Hit that like button on the video too. That'll be cool. Keep nerded up. I'm out. Have a good weekend, guys.